Hello everyone, it's time for our weekly talk about KIRAKIRA PRECURE, and this time we're talking about episode 28, the Himarin Cure Custard centered episode. And well, I have to say that Himarin is actually one of my favorite characters this season. Obviously, Yukari is the first, but I think she's the second, maybe the third. After last week's episode with Aoi, she's probably the third now. But I really like Himarin. That's probably why I was very disappointed with this episode. This episode was really a very big letdown for me. I was expecting it to be a good one with such nice development for her, but it didn't happen as I was expecting. I think that the bar in this season is set so high because the episodes in general are very good, especially the last ones. Those episodes centered on characters, on our characters, our lovely characters, they are being really good. First, we had that amazing episode with Macaron and Chocolate, and then we had that episode centered on CL and Biburi, and then we had the great Aoi episode last week. And then now we have the Himarin episode, and it was a letdown. I didn't like it at all. Especially when I like the character so much, I was expecting it to be very good, but it didn't happen. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But okay, let's talk about the episode. First of all, we are introduced to a character, and conventionally, he is actually looking for someone to help him. Conventionally is the right word. I don't think it's the right word, but it's something that actually sounds the same, at least in Portuguese. Oh my god, I'm a little confused right now. But anyways, he was looking for someone to help him, and he finds Himarin. And then we learned that actually that man is someone who's very famous in the sweets world, and he is like the sensei because he writes books about making sweets, and he's kind of the scientist of sweets. So Himarin looks up to him, he's like an idol to her, and she uses his book to prepare the sweets. And I think that the sweet scientist title for Himarin is very good. That's the first point that I want to make. I think that it's very original in a sense, and it fits her character perfectly because she's such a nerd for sweets and for following the recipes perfectly. But I feel like, okay, we're on a fantasy setting. It's set in the real world, but with lots of fantasy things, and everything that happens has magic in it, has kirakira in it. But I think that this episode had such a weird development and such a weird setting that didn't make me feel connected to the character. And KIRAKIRA PRECURE is an interesting thing because we have so many different personalities, and I can connect to every single one of them. I can see myself in every one of the characters with different characteristics of me, with different sides of me. I can see myself in those characters, and that to me, at least to me, represents good writing. But then, and I feel like I'm very close to Himarin in lots of aspects of life, but in this episode I saw nothing of me, but I think that it's probably because of the setting. So yeah, he wanted to bake this very big cake, so he does this public demonstration, and he uses Himarin as his assistant. So he tells her what to do, and she keeps on doing that, and then at the same time she gives her own twists to the things, and they end up making this very big sponge cake. The biggest problem that I have with it is that it feels so strange. I mean, the situation, the event feels so strange, and all of those big utensils and the big oven and the big bowl that they use to cook, it felt really stupid, and it felt really out of place. I don't know how to explain myself, but it felt really out of place, and I had I couldn't believe it. It wasn't really believable. And Precure in general has lots of absurd situations, but they make it believable in the episodes. And then I didn't see anything in this episode that actually made it believable. Everything was really strange. So yeah, there is another thing that bothers me a lot about how they develop Himarin's character, which is public spotlight. I mean, they always put her on the spotlight in a public way. She's a very shy character. Why do they keep on doing that to her? I don't understand that. That has nothing to do with her character at all. And like some episodes back, she became like the host to a vlog. And then she kept interviewing people. She had to fight her shyness to do that. And then in this episode, again, they put her on the spotlight, on the public spotlight again, by putting her onto a very big event with lots of people watching. That's really strange. And I don't know how it connects and how it empowers her in in trying to fight her shyness, in trying to overcome that. I don't really know if that's the right way to do this kind of thing with a person who's very shy like her. And there were some nice scenes, like when everyone started applauding her, everyone started clapping, and everyone started to admire her for what she did when the cake didn't really went as they were expecting. Everyone started admiring her, and that was very nice. It ended up being a very nice and a cute scene, and the way that she saw that, it was very beautiful. It was very cute. But I don't know. I feel like if her development is only that, I don't know. I feel like this is a real cliche development for a character like her. This is the basic thing that they had to do with her character. But I feel like they could have pushed further, and they could have done more with her. And just like, okay, so everyone liked what I did, so now I feel a little more confident with myself. That's so basic. That's such basic writing. And I think that this season was really going into another route with all of the characters, and then with her, they couldn't do it. They just went on with the most basic thing. But yeah, what can we do? This episode had some other nice moments. One of them was those little monsters of the villain that I forgot the name, Chase? I don't know. I don't remember the name of the villain anymore. That hot villain, and it was very funny seeing the little monsters watching little monsters. Oh my God! Sorry, Lady Gaga. The monsters watching the Himarin show, and they were very excited with the cooking, and it was kind of fun. It was kind of entertaining to see them, disguised as humans, and it's very interesting because we have two villains now. Apart from Biburi, we have Eliseo and this other one. And it seems to me that Eliseo brings out lots of interesting stuff about the girls because he can manipulate the minds of the girls. And this other one, he's just a basic villain. He's just a cliche villain. He's just a basic Precure villain at all. There's nothing more to him, at least for now, than that. He's just more outspoken, and Eliseo is not as outspoken as him. But I think that the biggest difference is in this part. And I think that the fighting scene in this episode was nice. Himarin using her knowledge to help the girls use their powers in different ways. And I think that if we're not gonna have physical fighting, I think that this is the way to go. I mean, I've said this before, but this is the way to go if they want to make a different feel to the fights with the Kirakira and their powers. I think that this is the way to go. I mean, they can bring so much, and they can make so many different things, and I think that this episode really brought it. And it was not the best thing, it was not the best animated fight in this season, but it was very good. It was very entertaining seeing Himarin taking the lead and telling the girls how to use their powers, and it was very nice. And it's also very interesting how she called Kira Parfait to use her powers to finish the monster. Because last episode I talked about it when Aoi screamed Parfait, and it was a very nice way. And then Himarin in this episode was so polite and so cute, asking for Parfait to finish the monster. And I love that. I love those differences in the characters that appear in so many different moments and in so many different ways in this season. And I think that KIRAKIRA is doing the best job. Even though they didn't do the best job with Himarin in this episode, unfortunately. But okay, I think that That's all I wanted to say. Next episode, we're gonna have a very dark episode with Kira Makaran. Yukari is the center again, and I'm very excited for that. I think that she is going to be very, very entertaining. We're gonna see more of her, and I love that. I love that idea, and it seems that we're gonna see more of a dark side of her. So I think when Eliseo attacks the girls, it's better because we see more of them. We see more of their personalities, and we see more of who they want to be, or we see more of their dark sides as well. And that's great because everybody has, as Kelly Clarkson says, everybody's got a dark side, and it's impossible not to have one, even in Precure. So I'm very, 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 very excited for episode 29. Next week we're gonna have Kira Makaran in the center again. So I'm very excited for that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment with your opinions on Cure Custard's episode. Did you like it? Do you have the same opinions as me as how they developed her character? What do you think about it? And I don't know, just love her. I just wanted to see more. I just wanted to see something a little bit more enthusiastic about her. I don't know. But anyways, I am still excited. I am still loving KIRAKIRA. I don't know, I'm just in love with the season with so much of my heart. I think I love KIRAKIRA Precure so much. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and until next time, bye-bye.